Okay, so this video is going to start with a disclaimer because it's about the choices that lots of people make at night, like to stay up late, to watch Netflix, to drink the wine, eat the chocolate, eat the ice cream, whatever it is. And the disclaimer is that there's nothing wrong with any of that. And you get to do whatever you want, and there's absolutely no judgment from me. But I do speak to lots of people who tell me that they're exhausted, they want to be healthier, they've got goals, personal and professional goals that they want to achieve, but they don't have enough time. And yet they spend quite a lot of time in the evening, at night, doing things that don't move them anywhere closer to being less exhausted or being healthier or achieving their goals. And what they tell me is that they need that time at night. They need an evening to themselves, for themselves, after maybe being working all day, maybe putting the kids to bed, that they need that time to decompress. They need that evening. And there's a term for this, isn't there? It's called revenge bedtime procrastination. And the idea of that is that when we're not in control of our time and what we do during the day, whether because of work or because of like caring responsibilities, other things, that then we exercise control in the evening by like we take our revenge and we take control there. But it isn't actually true that we're not in control during the day. So that's the thing I want to talk about, that we're not actually having to do all of the things that we have to do during the day. We tell ourselves that, and I want to acknowledge that most of you watching this video will have very busy lives, lots of things going on, and it's very easy to tell ourselves that there are all these things that we have to do and that we're not in control, but it isn't true. What is true is that we put others first, we put other things ahead of ourselves because that's what we've been taught to do, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're a mum. You have been socialized and programmed to take care of everybody else and make sure that everything and everyone is okay before you take care of yourself. So, what's really true is that we're not exercising the control that we have during the day as much as we could. What's happening is that we're not taking choices, doing things for ourselves because it's not what's expected of us. And if we were to do that, then that we would feel guilty. And like people who are, staying up watching Netflix, they know this is going on. And what they tell me is that they're focused on those choices, and they tell me that like they need to be stricter with themselves, they need to use more willpower, they need to make healthier choices at night. But what I want to offer in this video is an alternative way of thinking about it, which is what I'm going to offer is that instead of focusing on those nighttime choices, that you focus instead on all the other choices that you're making during the day, all the time in your life, but not necessarily seeing as choices. You're just doing the things that you think you have to do. You're not seeing that you have a choice. So, what I want to suggest you might try on instead is thinking about like, what if you just did more of what you want to do generally? What if you took more of the choices and chose yourself more? What if you did more of the things that you don't do because you don't want to feel guilty? You don't want to let other people down? What if you chose yourself more often? And as a takeaway from this video, I just want to invite you to choose one thing. What's one thing that you can do, one way that you can choose yourself? Because if we're choosing ourselves and doing more of what we want generally, we won't have so much of a need, so much of a desperation to give ourselves what we want in the evening because we're just getting more of what we want. So, what's one thing that you can do? One thing that you can give yourself, one way in which you can choose yourself to take you more in that direction. So I hope this has been helpful. If it brings up things for you, brings up questions, I'd love to hear from you. Get in touch and let me know.